I overheard my fiancé say, "It's just a deal, his wallet, my looks." I sent her a text, "Your microphone is still on." Then I canceled the wedding plans and stopped the ring payments. She kept calling, saying it was a joke, after her credit card got declined. I, 32, male, always believed the pillars of my life were strong. A steady career, loyal friends, and Natalie, 28. For 3 years we had been together, and for 2 of those months we were engaged. I thought we were building a future brick by brick. But what I didn't realize was that I was merely the bankroll behind her picture-perfect fantasy. I came home early on a Tuesday evening, hoping to surprise her with takeout from her favorite Thai spot. As I walked through the door, the warm, familiar scent of our apartment was undercut by laughter echoing from the living room. She was on a video call, the big screen displaying the faces of her 3 closest friends, with Brittany, also 28, and her maid of honor, taking up the center square. Natalie was holding up her hand, flaunting the custom engagement ring that I had spent weeks designing with a master jeweler, every detail curated with her in mind. They were gushing with compliments, the kind that usually filled me with pride. But then Brittany, with that sticky sweet voice of hers, tilted her head and said, "You really hit the jackpot, Nat, seriously." What followed shattered my illusions like glass. Natalie laughed, but not with joy. It was the laugh of someone who'd just pulled off a strategic coup. "Please, it's just business. His money, my looks. Fair trade, don't you think?" The girls erupted in giggly approval. But my stomach dropped into a hollow abyss. The first emotion wasn't rage, but an icy stillness, like someone had opened a freezer door in my soul. I didn't storm in. I didn't shout. I turned, walked silently to my home office, shut the door behind me, and pulled out my phone with a calm precision that surprised even me. Our smart home devices are all synced to my account. Within seconds, I pulled up the living room camera feed on my monitor. There she was, preening for the camera, soaking in their praise like sunlight. I sent a single text, "Your mix on." I sat back and watched. Her phone lit up, her eyes dropped down, and then the color drained from her face like water from a sinking ship. The smirk disappeared, replaced by a look of utter dread. She mumbled something to her friends about her mom calling and ended the call abruptly. But I was already in motion. My first call was to the wedding venue, an elegant manor house we'd reserved for the following September. I knew the contract like the back of my hand. While we were past the 90-day full refund period, we were still within the timeline where only the deposit would be forfeited. I spoke with the event coordinator, her voice soft with sympathy, likely assuming cold feet. 5 minutes later, I received an email confirming the cancellation. We lost $5,000, but I considered it a bargain. Next, the ring. That custom piece cost $23,050. To avoid disrupting my finances, I'd opted for a 6-month payment plan. The first installment, $3,800, had been paid. I logged into the jeweler's secure portal, found the agreement, and canceled all future payments. A prompt appeared, warning me that the remaining balance of $19,250 would become due immediately. I confirmed that the account was solely in my name. Since it wasn't fully paid off, the ring remained their property. I accepted the terms. I heard her footsteps approaching the office door. They were rapid, hesitant. She knocked lightly. "Dylan, baby, you won't believe the stupidest thing Brittany just said." I didn't respond. I swiveled my chair around to face her as she opened the door. I held up my phone and displayed the email subject line, "Confirmation of wedding cancellation." Her face, already pale, turned to ash. She opened her mouth, but before she could speak, her phone pinging interrupted her. She looked down. A fraud alert from her credit card company. "My card just got declined," she whispered, dazed. She'd been trying to purchase a new laptop. "That's strange," she muttered. "You transferred the money this morning." "I did," I replied flatly. "And then I transferred it back. Call it a business decision." Update 2 weeks later. The initial shock had faded, giving way to manipulation. Natalie pivoted from her "it was a joke" excuse to painting me as a volatile, controlling man who overreacted to a bit of harmless girl talk. Her messages were constant, texts, voicemails, alternating between tearful pleas and furious accusations. The climax arrived on a rainy Friday. She appeared at the apartment we were supposed to move into together, which, thankfully, was only in my name. I let her in. I wanted to hear it all. She had clearly been crying, but it looked performed. Red eyes framed by carefully applied mascara. "You're really going to throw away 3 years over one stupid sentence?" She paced my living room. "I was just trying to sound cool in front of Brittany. You know how she is. It was a performance." "Was it a performance when you met my parents?" I asked quietly. "When you said you saw a future with me? Or was that just part of the contract negotiation?" She pointed a finger at me, her voice sharp. "This is what you do. You twist everything to make me the villain. I spent months planning this wedding. Do you know how much work that was? The caterers, the flowers, the seating charts. I poured my soul into it. You owe me for that. Your therapist told you that? Or was it Brittany?" Meanwhile, Brittany had launched a group chat with around 15 of our mutual friends titled Support for Natalie. There, she spun a story about my alleged financial abuse and emotional instability. Some of her closer friends bought it, flooding the chat with heart emojis and offers for wine nights. I didn't respond. Instead, I focused on documentation. Natalie refused to return the engagement ring. She called it a gift, claiming it was hers now, collateral for my supposedly unpredictable behavior. I composed a formal email. Subject: Return of unpaid engagement ring. Natalie. As per our conversation, I am formally requesting the return of the custom engagement ring, item XXX, to jeweler's name. The payment plan has been canceled, leaving an outstanding balance of $19,250. The ring remains the legal property of the jeweler until paid in full. Kindly return it within 10 business days. Failure to do so may result in the jeweler pursuing legal action. Regards, Dylan. I attached a PDF of the financing agreement clearly listing me as the sole responsible party. Regarding finances, I pulled my bank records and created a spreadsheet of every transfer I'd made to her. I marked regular credit card support as monthly gift. I also highlighted a $6,500 loan for her car's down payment, complete with an email chain explicitly referring to it as a loan to be repaid after the wedding. I sent it all in an email titled, Financial Records for Your Review. I didn't engage in the group chat. I simply sent a 15-second clip from my smart home camera to Jordan and Rose, my closest friends. The video had no audio. It just captured Natalie's face when she saw my text. Her expression told the story. They didn't share it, but quietly relayed the moment to others in the chat. Soon after, the group went silent. The narrative was shifting. Update 1 month later. My efforts started paying off. The jeweler, CC'd on my email, contacted Natalie directly. She was given 2 options: pay the remaining balance or return the ring. Her credit, already fragile from her lifestyle habits, collapsed. Without my support, she couldn't secure a loan. The ring became a financial time bomb. Jordan and Rose helped quietly correct the narrative among our friends. They described the footage, described her cold smirk, the calculation in her eyes. No drama, just facts. It worked. Brittany, furious that her support campaign was floundering, took it a step further. She posted a 1-star review on my company's Facebook page. Cleverly worded, it accused the company of unethical business practices and hinted at manipulative leadership. It was a direct shot at me. Big mistake. I remembered Natalie mentioning that Brittany sold counterfeit designer goods from her apartment. I took screenshots from her public social media showing her surrounded by boxes of fake handbags, shoes, and scarves. In one, a building sign was clearly visible in the background. I submitted an anonymous lease violation form to her building management, citing fire hazards due to stacked boxes in hallways and an undeclared business. I included screenshots. Meanwhile, I sent her Facebook review and messages from the group chat to my company's HR department with a calm email titled, Harassment from a Personal Acquaintance. Within 2 days, Our corporate legal team issued a formal cease and desist letter to Brittany. She deleted the review. Her apartment was inspected. She received a 30-day notice to cure or vacate. Unsurprisingly, she couldn't shut down her operation in time. She moved out. Final update, 3 months later. The ring is gone. The best friend is gone. And I'm at peace. Natalie attempted one last grand gesture, texting me that she was coming to return the ring and her shattered soul. I didn't answer the door. Instead, I informed the concierge a package would be dropped off. I had it sent directly to the jeweler. I never touched it. Natalie has since moved back in with her parents. The loan is being settled through a small claims service. Brittany's online presence has disappeared entirely. The fallout has filtered through our social circles. Most recognize the truth. A few faded away quietly. It wasn't a loss, it was a cleansing. I won't pretend this was easy. There were nights I lay awake, mourning a future that never existed. What hurt most wasn't the money, but the ease with which she reduced our relationship to a transaction. But every step I took, every email, every document, every quiet action, wasn't for revenge. It was to reclaim my life, to prove that I wasn't a fool, that I could navigate chaos with dignity, that I would not be bartered. I'm not dating. I'm enjoying peace. I'm sharing meals with true friends. I'm working with purpose, not escape. Whatever story Natalie and Brittany are telling now doesn't matter. My business with them is done. Like and subscribe if you believe in quiet strength and letting consequences speak louder than words.